Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. You have Alyssa Corum and Ken Shreve here to break down the action in the market. It was a strong day, notably for tech stocks. We'll get to that in a second. And Ken, preview the couple names that we're going to be taking a look at. You are muted. You're just so speechless about
I know.
today.
I've been so good about unmuting myself lately too. Well, in light of such a strong day for the Nasdaq, I think it makes sense to take a look at Facebook, which is still looking pretty good here. We have Applied Materials earnings after the close. We'll take a look at a really bullish move for Lam Research, and finally cap it off with West Pharmaceutical Services, a member of our long-term leader screen.
Okay, and first let's take a look at the Nasdaq. As you mentioned, Ken, leading today in the broad indexes, up about 1.8% for the day. We have the S&P 500 up 1.1%, the Dow up about 0.6%, and the Russell 2000 also up about 0.6%. So strength in tech here. The Nasdaq, however, is still below its 50-day. So it seems like that's definitely a level that we want to see the Nasdaq get back above.
Yeah, definitely. And really the strength in the NASDAQ, when you look through all the top gainers in the NASDAQ 100 today, it was mostly chip stocks, some chip makers, a lot of chip equipment firms. But yeah, the composite is still below its 50-day line. The big issue with the rally today, like we mentioned on IBD Live earlier today when the session was just getting going, was just lack of volume. I mean, we're still in this situation where we're seeing higher volume declines in the indexes and lower volume gains. So there wasn't much juice behind the rally today, so that's a bit of a concern. But you're going to pull up the QQQ here,
that's right.
Yeah, and see that
looking a little better.
Looking a little better, yeah. I mean, at least it closed above its 50-day moving average. Anytime a stock or index sells off, that 50 and goes below the 50-day moving average, it can often be a resistance level. So the Qs were able to get back not only above the 50-day, but its short-term moving averages as well. So that's compelling. But again, this lack of volume is a little bit of a concern, especially when you're seeing indexes trying to start new uptrends here.
Yeah, and also the Dow and the S&P 500 following up on encouraging days yesterday that saw them coming down to their 50-day lines, finding support there. So continuing higher here for the Dow and the S&P 500 as well, both back near or above their 21-day lines as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean the S&P looks super strong. You mentioned both indexes made good tests of the 50-day line yesterday, and then the S&P, gapped up today and it crossed above those short-term moving averages, which also could have been resistance levels like they were earlier this week. So S&P 500 still looks great. Nasdaq is starting to show signs of life here. Again, a lot of it's going to be dictated, I think, on what Applied Materials says after the close today when they report earnings. We'll see if semiconductor stocks can continue their momentum from today.
Yeah, that would be really great to see. And it seems like the question is now, is this just a short-lived rotation back into tech, or is this the bifurcated market resolving itself to the upside?
Well, like colleague Ed Carson has been saying, the market has done a good job of sucking us in and then kind of spitting out. It's you can't really trust. We had a nice bullish pairing of gains yesterday, a good day today, but it's so when you're in a healthy market, your stock screen should be giving you a lot of different stocks to choose from, whether they're finding support at the 50-day or the 10-week moving average. They might be breaking out of bases, and really the screens right now are just not yielding a whole lot. So that's a bit of a concern. Even though indexes are showing signs of life here, I'm a little skeptical. But again, the Qs showed very encouraging price action today. We'll see if the Nasdaq Composite can move back above that 50-day.
That's right. Well, let's dig into today's market action a little bit more by taking a look at some underlying movers, kicking things off with Facebook, gaining 1.6% today. A nice upside reversal in Wednesday's session that saw the stock coming down to its 50-day line and moving strongly off of that level. So this is a big cap tech name that now is looking like it's coming back to life.
Yeah, definitely. And I would argue it's well, you can see the blue shaded box here. It's still in a buy zone after breaking out of this really long consolidation. You can see the there it is, and then had a nice earnings gap in late April, and then the stock just pulled back immediately after the gap up. It was falling right with the market at that time. So, but I think the move today, again, this came in light volume as well. Good upside reversal yesterday. If you feel like the Nasdaq is going to find its footing here, I think this stock totally makes sense. This is not a super high beta growth stock. It's a larger company. You can see its relative strength rating of is 60, so it's not moving as fast as maybe it has in prior years. But the technical picture still looks good. Support at the 10-week and still in buy range after this move out of a kind of a long consolidation.
Yep, about 3.8% above the 10-week line as
Yeah.
of now. And a bullish move indeed from Lam Research today, ticker LRCX, gaining over 4%. We did get some above average turnover here, Ken, as the stock crossed a trend line here.
Yeah, sentiment is still decidedly positive in the chip equipment group. Basically because of strong fundamentals. A lot of these companies have been reporting strong earnings and sales growth, and it's expected to continue as well. So Lam Research is no stranger to strong growth. You can see the huge revenue growth in recent quarters, big earnings growth as well. So nice breakout over a trend line today, giving an early entry. And again, the strength in chip stocks now, it really just has to be what is just about what Applied Materials is going to say after the close and what their conference call sounds like. So, but these chip stocks are showing they're not quite ready to surrender their leadership yet.
All right. And last but not least, let's take a look at West Pharmaceuticals, ticker WST. Some nice tight trade over the last couple of weeks after a breakout, Ken. And taking a closer look at today's action, we can see a nice bounce off of the 21-day line with the stock gaining some 2%.
Yeah, this was a low volume breakout of what we would call sort of a cup base. It broke out over that 312 area thereabouts. There wasn't much volume behind the breakout, but yet another example of how breakouts can work. Volume eventually came into the stock, but it's pulled back down to the 21-day moving average here, just out of buy zone. But like the tight trading, if we go back over to the weekly chart, we say time and time again, when a stock moves out of a base and holds gains and trades tightly, you can often see these 3 weeks tight, 4 weeks tight patterns. So if West Pharmaceuticals closes right where it is by the end of the week, you'd have a nice little 3 weeks tight set up, and we'd be watching the stock for a move above the 3 weeks tight entry. But another stock with a pretty good looking technical picture here.
And 7% off of the 10-week line if you did want to size your position off of that level. And as you mentioned at the top of the show, Ken, West Pharmaceuticals, one of IBD's long-term leaders.
Yes, it is, and there's a lot of great stocks on the long-term leaders list, and these are just stocks with good fundamentals. And if we go to the monthly chart for West Pharmaceuticals, you'll see why this gets long-term leader status. It's just been a very strong price performer. Well, for a long time, since breaking out of a kind of a long period of sideways movement back in 2012, 2013, but has been a strong price performer due to great execution, and still looks pretty good in this market.
All right, taking a look at the daily, weekly, and monthly charts for this one.
Hey.
We should have taken a look at the intraday chart, but
we only monthly charts for the long-term leaders. We didn't get that perspective as to why they're long-term leaders.
I love it, Ken. Thank you for that, and thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you join us tomorrow morning on IBD Live, where we cap off the week. It's been a pretty pivotal week in the market, so we are breaking down the action every step of the way. So we hope you join us tomorrow morning on our daily morning live stream at investors.com/IBD Live. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you then.